tuning into Carol's Daily Sauce. I apologize. I am all over the place. Okay? All over the place. I woke up this morning. One of the first things that I do, like most people, is grab my phone. I grab my phone for messages. I grab my phone for messages. That's the first thing that I do. But I also grab it because I want to know what's went on in the world in my sleep. I also grab it to check my YouTube. And upon checking my YouTube, I was informed of something that was, I don't want to say interesting, but interesting. Because I feel like if you can do a video that could potentially help somebody in something that they're going through, growing through, do it. And so one of my subscribers, sorry, I'm closing up my vitamin E oil. Don't want it to spill, too expensive. One of my subscribers actually suggested that I go check out this young lady. She wanted to know my perspective, how I felt about the situation. I was like, okay. I didn't know, y'all, excuse me. I'm trying to, you know, adjust. So I didn't know nothing about it. I am not a Facebook person. I go on Facebook periodically. My sister is on Facebook. My mom is on Facebook. So is my brother. And so that's one of our ways to keep up with one another. But for the most part, I'm not a Facebook. So the young lady that I'm referring to is Itasha Brunson. Bronson. Who is Itasha Brunson? Some of you guys may be saying. I was like, who in the world is Itasha Brunson? So I did a Google, not a Google search, but I did a YouTube search on her. Y'all, Itasha Brunson is a 20-ish-year-old young lady. She looks like she may be my daughter's age. She may be 30. I'm not real sure. All I know is she's a young lady, single mother. It's so crazy because I couldn't find a Facebook. I couldn't find a YouTube. I couldn't find anything. The only thing that I was able to find was videos. And from there, I went ahead and made this video. So Itasha Brunson, as I said, is a mother of, from the way it sounds, about 5 children, okay? That is including a set of twins. She had her first child when she was a teenager. She had her second child prior to graduating from high school. So by the time she was, 17 or 18, she was already the single mother of 2 children. I do know that her first few children were definitely boys. She didn't have girls at all in the beginning. Well, supposedly over time, Itasha had gotten into a relationship with a gentleman. His name was mentioned. However, I don't see the importance in mentioning his name, only because he's married. He has children with his wife, and I just don't see the importance of mentioning him. So he's married. Now you guys know where the drama may be coming from. What actually happened is Itasha found out that the man that she had been dating, okay, I'm assuming for years, has a wife and children. So she had a set of twins by this gentleman. She also had another child, a daughter, by this gentleman. And so she's been pregnant by him 2 times. So Itasha Brunson and this gentleman are living their life, obviously in secret, because she didn't know he was married. I don't know what type of relationship this gentleman had with his wife, where he was able to stay overnight, you know, at times. I don't know. All I know is Itasha Brunson, and I must add that she's from Mississippi. Not that that's any, not to say Mississippi people are anything, but I just wanted to say she's from Mississippi. But when we dating people, okay, we need to know everything about people. I will tell you guys this. Prior to my getting married, I ended up, as a young girl, getting into a relationship with a married man because I didn't ask enough questions. I was so young and fickle. I didn't ask enough questions. And I ended up literally falling in love with this guy right out of high school and was heartbroken. He was military. I was raised in a military town. And so it was the norm. It was the norm for that to happen. Long story short, back to Latasha, or Itasha. What ended up happening with her finding out that he was actually married is his wife went on Facebook. And when she went on Facebook, she noticed here her husband is in pictures with this woman and some babies talking about his woman and his kids. And she like, who? What? Okay? So, as I said, actually until this gentleman came along, Tasha had boys. But with this guy, she had girls, and she always wanted girls. This part is really important. She always wanted girls, and most mothers usually want a girl. It's obvious in looking at the video on Facebook Live that Itasha was just devastated. She was devastated. You could see her in the car, and you guys, literally, the first thing I noticed when I started watching the video is why you got that baby in your lap without being in a car seat. I want to say the baby had to be between 9 and 12 months. On the other side of her was another baby not in a car seat, okay? She's holding this baby. This little sweet baby is asleep on her chest. Baby cute as I don't know what. Y'all know I'm a baby fanatic. And I'm looking like, looking. And as I'm looking right then and there, and I see the baby not in her car seat, I see the other one, I break down in tears. Hence one of the reasons I have on quite a bit of makeup, because this story broke my heart. Tasha went in to say how depressed she was, how disappointed she was, how Nichols, that's how I'm gonna say it, ain't ish, because they end up being married and they lie to you. Honey, we have to ask questions, okay? I say we because I'm a sister just like you guys. Y'all need to ask questions, okay? You can't say because this one person did this that another person is going to do it. Okay, you just can't. So Tasha took to Facebook Live to literally tell the people who was watching Facebook that she was going to commit suicide. And I am saying verbatim, she's going to take her kids with her daughters with her. And the reason she was saying that she was going to take her daughters with her is because she said nobody is going to raise my daughters and take care of my daughters like I would. Now, mind you, Tasha is an only child on her mother's side. She has, I believe, sisters on her father's side, but she's an only child on her mother's side. She literally called her mother to tell her mother goodbye and I love you. You guys, I just did a video a week ago on My Jazzy Life. Let me tell you something about depression. Let me tell you something about suicidal, because you know what? I really don't care how anybody feels about this. I've been there. I know what it looks like to be so broken up and so sad and so mutilated emotionally and physically and mentally that you feel like you don't have a reason for living. The only thing, the only reason that I am here today, and I thank God for it, is because of my 3 children. I lived because of my 3 children. Basically, while Tasha is on the freeway or the expressway, we say freeway here in California, is on the expressway, she's telling people in the live she's trying to find a good spot where she can run off the road or where she can slam into somebody and just take her life because she's tired of it. All this for a man. Men come a dime a dozen, okay? A dime a dozen. Just like you got that one who was somebody else's, you can get your own. But for the love of God, you are wrong trying to take your kid's life. And to do it in such a way where you don't even want to put them on seatbelts. Heartless. Y'all, I'm at. Okay, I'm back. That's one of the most heartless situations that I've ever seen. You want to put them in the car and you don't even want to strap them up. You know, if you get in a car accident, they can go flying out because they're little. How dare you? How dare you do that to those babies? The young lady wanted to know my perspective. Selfish and insensitive. Them babies didn't ask to come here. Them babies didn't ask to come into the world. How dare you want to take your life and also take the life of them babies? So, she in a car, rolling down the freeway, looking dumb, crying. Y'all, I have all the compassion in the world for someone who is depressed. All the compassion in the world. But my compassion kind of died for Itasha. Because you were involving innocent babies. If you want to go, go. Because if you want to go, you're going to do it. But don't take innocent people with you. So as she's driving down this freeway, she's saying she got to take her kids because she's so heartbroken and she can't continue to live with this story. Heartbreak is real, y'all. Heartbreak is real. I totally understand heartbreak being real. I've been heartbroken, excuse me. We've all been heartbroken. So as she drove down this expressway, you could clearly see baby in her arms. You can clearly see the car jumping. I found out later, baby girl was driving, I believe, a 2020 Mazda. You got a whole brand new car. As she's driving across the freeway, she's saying to the right of her, her sons are over there. People are calling her. Her son called her or texted her and asked her, could he use the car? You know what her response was? Nah, son, you can't use the car. It's going with me. She was like, Mama love y'all. Y'all, this story is, oh, Jesus. This story right here, crazy. She was very distraught. She was crying. And she had a car accident. But before I tell you the outcome of that, I want to say this. She don't know her worth, because if she knew her worth, she'd know that she and those babies deserved more. Those babies deserve to be here because God has given them life. She deserves to be here because God has given her life. Baby, don't never put your value, your worth in anybody else's hands. Okay? Don't ever put your value or your worth in anybody else's hands. You're better than that. But I think what really got me the most was her not caring about the well-being of them babies. Y'all, my eyes are teary. My children and my grandchildren are everything. Everything to me. And I can't even fathom the mindset she must have had. She had to be straight up out of her mind. She had to be gone. And I remember reading in one of the comments on Facebook, hurt came first before depression. So she reacted on her hurt. I wish she had gotten depressed first, because even in her depression, it would have held off. Maybe she could have got the help that she needed or whatever. But the choices she made clearly was not a healthy choice. It wasn't a good choice. So I'm going to tell you guys what happened. And it clearly does not get better. Supposedly, first of all, as I said before, there was a car accident. Supposedly, Itasha dropped her phone because, mind you, she was texting. She wasn't paying attention. She was kissing on her baby, putting her head down and kissing on her baby, looking at her other baby on the side, showing much admiration for her children. But that admiration thing didn't do nothing for me, because if you love your babies, you're not going to take their lives. Period. You're not going to do it. I don't care what anybody says. You're not going to do it. This woman supposedly, and I do this because I don't believe it, she supposedly dropped her phone. When she dropped her phone, numb knuckle, dummy. Yeah, I am saying this because you guys know what? I'm angry. Okay, I'm angry. I'm angry that somebody would drop a phone flying down the expressway and reach your raggedy tail to pick it back up. And it wasn't no emergency. She reached down to get her phone. And when she reached down to get her phone, when she came back up, she lost control of her car. This is what she said. When she lost control of her car flipped over 3 times. One child was ejected out of the car. Probably the little baby on the side, because the other baby, she had a death grip on her. She had the other baby in her hand. Now, mind you, the baby that was ejected from the car was so bloodied up that the people that were filming the video thought that the baby was dead. It is but the grace of God that that baby is still living today, and hopefully going to be in the custody of her father. Her father has since went on Facebook and corrected and did some videos and said his daughter did not pass away. Neither did the little baby that she had in her hand. Obviously, they have bumps and bruises. Well, let's talk about Itasha. What does she look like? Ain't a bruise on her face. Her body is probably banged up a bit because her car flipped over 3 times. So she's banged up. But y'all, through all of this, God allowed her to live her life. God allowed her children to live. Everything, you guys, we go through, grow through, everything we experience is not an experience in which we are to die from it. So they show her doing a live on Facebook. And what is she saying? So convenient, because she doesn't have a scratch on her face at all. It's so convenient. Y'all, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't really going to take my life. I dropped the phone and lost control of the car. It all sounds good. What I wanted to say when I got off, because I'm definitely about to close out this video, because I don't want this video being super long. But y'all, this right here was hard for me. It was a very hard video to do. Basically, what I was saying was, Tasha came back and she was saying how she didn't mean to do it, that she was depressed, but she was just kidding. She was just, depressed and in a bad place. And because she was depressed and in a bad place, this is what happened. What you forgot is that people all across the world, on Facebook and everywhere, have screenshotted everything you did, everything you said. So what kind of charges is she going to be brought against? Yeah. Child endangerment. She could very well be charged with manslaughter. I mean, y'all, they have video evidence of you slinging snot, crying, saying how depressed you were over a nigga, and that's exactly what you said, saying niggas ain't ish, and saying all this stuff. You should have known better. But see, what she thought was that she's going to kill herself. But y'all, when I tell you this right here, according to Jeremiah 29:11, only God knows the plans. And those are thoughts of good and of evil, and to bring you to an expected end. So she had better hire her a lawyer, because I promise you, she ain't getting out of this one. So they bring her food into the hospital, and she's like, oh, I don't want food. And the people are looking at her. The doctors and nurses are looking at her like she crazy. They're like, excuse me, because she's on live. When she's moving around in the bed, you could tell clearly that her body is sore and uncomfortable, because she's like, yeah, you flipped over 3 times. Your big body can take it. But imagine how them babies feel. Imagine how those babies must feel, because the babies aren't in the hospital room with her. Probably because they are on the children's ward. Probably because so much has been said in the realm of what happened. This girl tried to commit suicide and take her babies with her. That's not going to go down easy. And she in Mississippi, and she black. She got so many strikes against her. My only prayer is that she repents. But in addition to repenting, that she will get on the right track of being healthy. Because like I said, men come a dime a dozen. Find out women who it is you're seeing. Find out everything about them. Ask all the questions that you could possibly ask about them. Specifically young women. Ask questions. Will this prevent you from being in the same situation that Itasha was in? Hopefully. Hopefully whomever you get with will be honest with you. Hopefully they'll have enough respect for you and tell you exactly what is going on. But for the love of God, don't try to take your life. And surely don't try to take your children's life. Children look to their parents to be protected. They look to their parents to be loved. They look to their parents to be understood. You failed your children, Itasha. You failed your mother. You failed your sons that you were about to leave behind. You failed everybody. Excuse me. This is just my perspective on the story. Pitiful. Pathetic. Do I feel sorry for her? Yeah, I do. I feel sorry for her, first and foremost, that she felt so little that she felt like she had to take her life. But in addition to that, I feel sorry for her because you going to jail, boo-boo. You going to jail. Yep. They not, I'm telling you, once the district attorney picks this case up, you gonna be charged. Getting on Facebook now talking about, oh, I don't want nothing to eat, and then drank up the juice. She said, I want the juice. Drank up the juice, and then had the audacity to complain that they should have gave her cranberry juice. She need Jesus. We all do. Y'all, my heart is heavy. My heart is heavy. Just continue to pray for the babies. Continue to pray even for Itasha, because she needs some help. Anytime you put all of you in someone, and you forget about you, it's clearly obvious that you need some help. Because guess what? If you can't take care of you, you can't take care of nobody else. God forbid that she has children who are so young that they have to rely on her to take care of them. Now, once she get them hips out that hospital, she'll probably go to jail, and other people, specifically her mom or the children's father, will have to take care of them. Y'all, be mindful. Be mindful of the decisions that you place yourself in. We all are at fault for not making the very best of decisions. All of us are. I'm not saying that I'm, so far beyond anybody, because I'm not. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is this. Ask questions. Be mindful of your decisions. And above all, if you don't do nothing else, love your babies. Love your babies. With that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell so that you're reminded of every video that I upload. I love each and every one of you. I thank you so much for your support. Thank you for the compliments on this little curly hair. It means the world to me. Not that I thrive off of compliments or anything like that, but I've been wearing my wigs for a long time, so I had to bring out the curls, and all that kind of stuff. But it's really, really good to have supporters that support you in everything. I appreciate you all. God bless you. Bye-bye.